Some time has passed since the Tournament of Power, and it seemed as if everything would end up being peaceful, lazy, and secure. Even Babidi thought this. As the de facto savior of the multiverse, he actually allowed himself to enjoy all of this. He was given access to a beach resort that belonged to Capsule Corp as a token of thanks, so he could have a proper Earth-style vacation. And so, he took Bulma up on the offer, enjoying himself much more than he actually expected. The sea, cold drinks, the warm weather really calmed his nerves. Piccolo visited him from time to time, as he himself wasn't the one to sunbathe. "You can really damage your skin with that," he remarked one time.
"Don't be such a spoil-sport, Piccolo. We've earned some rest. Saved the multiverse and all of that."
The Namekian smirked. "So, you admit that you actually saved something for once?" The wizard shrugged, grinning. He was busy wearing a Hawaiian shirt and black glasses, and at this point, he was holding a tanning mirror of all things.
"I figured out, why not? After all I have done for you fools, I should finally start and capitalize on my status as a hero, like that Mr. Satan."
Pragmatic as always, Babidi made himself more comfortable in the sunbed.
"You are free to stay, you know, to witness my magnanimity."
Piccolo rolled his eyes, but deep down, he was genuinely happy for the wizard after all that they had been through. It seemed that he had finally dropped most of his evil ways, the act, and finally admitted to himself that he was a changed person and part of the group, in his own special way, something that he knew was hard to actually overcome. But suddenly, their peace was interrupted by the arrival of several Galactic Patrol ships.
"Oh look, Piccolo, the Galactic Patrol is here. Maybe they're here to thank me for saving the universe with my selfless wish."
Babidi waved at the ships, greeting them over.
"Wizard Babidi, you're surrounded! Surround her now or we'll be forced to use strength!"
"I don't think they're particularly grateful." This annoyed the wizard very much. He was meant to be on his vacation. As he stood up, clenching his fist.
"Hey, what's the great idea here? I saved your butts from being erased by the Godchild. This is not how you're supposed to treat your hero."
As the agents of the patrol started to appear, Piccolo grew tense. Some of them he didn't recognize, and they weren't as goofballish as Jarko. They were actually doing their job. The two in charge seemed to be blue-skinned people, a lean officer, and the other one who was taller and practically robotic. "Wizard Babidi, I am Officer Miras. This is Officer Gia. We request that you surrender and give up the location of Moro."
"What? I have no idea what you clowns are talking about."
Babidi started to prepare a spell in defense. The name Moro gave him internally a weird, almost fearful deja vu. He felt that every time he had to face Beerus, so innately, was this Moro guy just as scary as Beerus? Piccolo blinked twice.
"Hey, I know that he did some nasty things in the past, but we have him under control for the past few years, so he's fine. Not only that, but he was a pretty key asset in our victory in the Tournament of Power."
"Thank you."
The one called Miras approached them calmly. "Mr. Piccolo, was it?
"Yes?"
Your friend over there is charged with breaking into a high-security Galactic Patrol facility and breaking out our most dangerous prisoner, along with many others who joined his cause. The evidence is irrefutable."
"Well, I didn't! I've been here the whole time!"
Babidi was getting angrier and angrier. Gia looked past the little potato man.
"We have damning evidence contrary to that."
Piccolo tried to calm down the mood by asking the right questions.
"When did it happen then?"
"On the 3,135,500,603rd day of the royal calendar."
Who even uses the royal calendar anymore? Jeez.
Babidi said under his breath, but he then quickly realized something.
Wait, that couldn't have been.
Miras looked at him firmly. "And why is that?"
Because that was the day of the Tournament of Power. I was there. Ask anyone you want."
Piccolo nodded.
"I can confirm this. We have tons of witnesses to boot, in all 12 universes."
Miras looked at Gia, puzzled. "Can you call those from Universe 7 here to back up your case?" The Namekian nodded and used telepathy to contact Gohan, Goku, Vegeta, and the others. Soon, the entire team was there to confirm Babidi's version of events, that he indeed was there on that day for the Tournament of Power. Miris then thought for a second. Well, there must be a mistake here, but I feel that you would like to see our evidence with your own eyes. It might be very confusing to you otherwise. Would you accompany us to the HQ? I can assure you, you will not be taken into custody. Yet.
Oh, but I was in the middle of my vacation.
Babidi grumbled, and then Piccolo looked at him and he was...
Fine, whatever. Make it quite destroyed my relaxation time. I hope you're happy.
And so the patrollers took the wizard, Piccolo, Goku, Boo, and Vegeta to the headquarters. They took the Saiyans since they wanted to ask them to help them out against Moro anyway, because they seemed pretty effective in stopping Majin Buu, so it couldn't hurt. On the way, they explained who Moro was and why they went for Buu, as he was their other target on Earth. They needed the assistance of the Grand Supreme Kai, and Buu was the last present location of where the essence of the Grand Supreme Kai would have been.
Wait, and you believe this pink blob still has... Oh, of course he has. Now everything's coming to me. Why didn't I think about this before?
Babidi's palm covered part of his face. It was clear as day. That's why Majin Buu had been tempered. 10 million years ago, Moro was terrorizing our universe. The Grand Supreme Kai was the only one powerful enough to stop him. But if we can use your assistance, maybe we can defeat him. He was cut out of his magic, but he's still powerful in his state.
It seems to be almost a reoccurring theme with you wizards, losing your power.
Vegeta noticed, but also getting a little jibe in.
Hey, Babidi, do you know about this Moro guy?
The Potato Man pondered about this for a while.
I know that I should know something, but it's weird, you know? Maybe another trick of my father to keep something from me and just dangle some of it in my face to just keep some vital information away from me. Curse you, father.
It's funny though. You got that M like Moro, right? Babidi felt a weird sensation in his stomach.
It stands for Majin, Goku. You know that.
Does it? Huh. The wizard swallowed loudly. I mean, that's what he always assumed. The legacy that his father had left him was pretty muddy at the best of times, but this Moro guy couldn't have been. He existed way before his father had awakened Majin Buu, and that was a long time ago in of itself. Something wasn't right. When they finally got to the headquarters, they felt incredibly uncomfortable, as every member of the patrol was staring daggers at them. Some of them were prematurely congratulating Miris for bringing these heinous people in on a job well done. It seemed that he was some sort of superstar in the Force, a real super elite, unlike Jarko. It was enough for Babidi to hate him already. Oh, goody two-shoes, great. After saying hello to the Galactic King, they were shown footage of a mind-controlled patrolman following someone who looked very similar to Babidi. In fact, Babidi kind of was surprised that...
Could I have done that?
Similar, but not quite identical upon closer looking.
Seeing you two side to side now. Babidi? Who is this? Babidi?
Piccolo seemed concerned as he noticed the wizard frozen in place.
Wizard, are you with us?
Even Vegeta had shown a harsh concern for him.
It's impossible. I thought I was the last one.
The Namekian realized what he was talking about after his time on his old home planet.
It's one of his brothers, doppelgangers created by his father.
The realization came to the wizard. While he had had his self-discovery, this upstart had ruined everything that he had previously built. Yes, he might have grown enough to appreciate hard work, but he was still not happy that one of his brothers, or clones, or doppelgangers, or whatever, was still around, doing dangerous stuff, looking increasingly like him, especially if he had combined forces with some ancient evil.
I really hoped I was the last one, but apparently not,
he muttered. Goku patted the wizard on the shoulder.
Don't worry, Babidi. All we're gonna do is defeat this guy, just like we did with you. That wasn't so hard. Thanks, Goku.
Just then, an alert could be heard throughout the entire base.
What is that horrible noise?
Babidi covered his ears. We have an alert from planet Jung. The Macaroni siblings are attacking a shipment of blue aurum. Goku smiled mildly.
Don't worry, we can help you.
Miris nodded. All right, let's not waste time. And despite Barbidi's protests, the team went on to join the patrollers in fighting off the goons. It wasn't a particularly hard scuffle, and the wizard didn't really see the point for even them being there. It felt like a waste of time, honestly. But the patrollers were more than capable of dealing with that mess themselves, so the guys, Goku, they were just window dressing. Not only that, but they needed to leave Boo behind, as of course he'd fallen asleep. Well, he will be needed when Moro shows his ugly face, so if he wants to have his inconvenient nap, then let's do it now, I guess. As they apprehended the gang, they were then sent back to headquarters. While in space, the team received information that the location of Moro had been ascertained, and Goku decided to search for his key, with Babidi helping him by expanding his abilities. And indeed, they found him. But what terrified the wizard was not the height of his power, but something else. I mean, they'd found more powerful enemies than Moro currently. No. What was really off-putting was the fact that whatever he sensed scared Goku. Goku? Scared? It was the first time he had seen the Saiyan feel such emotion about sensing an opponent. But before Babidi himself could pull out of this, he heard in his head a few words. I can see you, lad. This deep, ancient voice rang in his massive head for a moment, before causing him to pass out, greatly distressing the crew. While out cold, Babidi had weird dreams. He was his father, but also himself. He learned the terrible truths of the dark magic from a hunched-over, ram-like figure. This filled him with both dread and respect. He saw that, with a wave of a single finger, this individual had consumed numerous planets. Destroying worlds was one thing, but the power to drain them, to feed on them? That was terrifying. When he came to his senses, his comrades were looking at him with very major concern.
Hey, Babidi, we lost you for a few minutes. How you holding up?
The wizard was still shaken.
I felt him, and then remembered some of my father's old memories. He taught him, made him into what he was. He was scarily powerful.
Also, we know he's heading toward New Namek. We have no idea how he and her sibling have learnt about it, Miris added.
Namek?
Why would they? Dragon Balls. He needed the Dragon Balls for something.
Well, let's not stand around here like idiots. Let's get after them.
We are pursuing him, but seeing how strong your reaction was at merely sensing him, the patrolman said.
There is no shame in living to fight another day. You did a lot during the tournament. We can get you back to Earth so you can rest.
This surprisingly came from Vegeta, this encouragement. It seemed that, wow, he had impressed the prince after all.
No, I need to see this through. Besides, I have to confront my sibling. I am the great wizard Babidi. I can't just run away from this when it's so close to home.
Piccolo looked at the rest. Well, if you're sure.
I believe in him.
Goku nodded.
Thank you.
The wizard whimpered silently. Honestly, it was fair to say that the Saiyan believed in him more than he did back in the tournament. And after what? His absolute moment of triumph during the tournament? That was when he had shown his absolute power. Right now, he felt like a scared child, unable to do anything, terrified of some old goat and an upstart who was emulating him, trying to steal his thunder. No, he had to get it together. If he didn't stand against this, then who could? And he would never grow past where he was right now. Damn you, Goku, and your pep talks. Luckily, it seemed they at least arrived on Namek before Moro and his minions could get there. They had managed to get the jump on him. The first thing that they did was warn Elder Mori so they could hide the Dragon Balls from the invaders. Sadly, to their terror, before they could hide all of them, the ship containing Moro and his minions arrived on New Namek, with the scary-looking Elder Ram Man coming out of it. Before they knew what was up, he grabbed one of the Namekian children. What do we have here? A little snack? The little child, Esker, writhed in fear before Vegeta came to the rescue and kicked him out of the old fool's hands. Okay. Maybe he wasn't so strong after all. The fight then went from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan God. The longer it took, the less scared Babidi was. It seemed that Vegeta had all this under control. It was then decided that Miris and Piccolo would grab Boo and Babidi would help with the Namekians in terms of defending. He had already cast a few protective spells on the village to help the lesser known people, which did not escape Mora's attention, of course. But all he did was smile. He didn't act. Why was he so happy? He was going to lose to Vegeta. But pretty quickly, Babidi understood what was happening. The old ram was draining the planet itself while he was distracting the prince, and he was getting stronger. Then Babidi realized that someone else might have been collecting the Dragon Balls for him. He decided to take flight, asking Mori for directions. And he was right. As he had approached one of the villages, he saw two figures. One looked like a Frieza soldier, and the other was puppeteering one of the Namekian warriors to force one of the weaker ones into submission.
Oh, no, you don't!
He decided to try and dispel the magic from the warrior, but it didn't work. Instead, the other potato wizard turned his head with a little tuft of hair on his head and smiled.
Oh, look who has finally shown up. My ambitionless brother. You want to repeat that to my face?
Babidi yelled, and the other one did just that, teleporting right in front of his face.
Care to repeat?
Babidi was spooked.
Is the great warlock Babidi too much for you? Shut up! Shut up!
They were both screeching at each other, confusing both the Namekians and the Frieza soldier-looking fellow. After a moment, they started firing spells at one another. As Babidi prepared mostly shields for the villagers, he didn't have that much destructive magic on hand, and his brother was breaking his defenses with relative ease. After what felt like an eternity, he quickly realized that Babidi was stronger than him. As he yelled loudly, he was hit by a spell and blasted out of the sky. He didn't know how the Saiyans could do all of this magical flying around and fighting and stuff, but he felt really ashamed before he lost consciousness when he hit the roof of a nearby Namekian building. But that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now.